Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Movie Squib channel. I am your host, Charlie, and today we are discussing 2 out of 10 star reviews for Jurassic Park. Now, let me explain why it's 2 out of 10 stars. Originally, I was going to go searching for 1 out of 10 star reviews for Jurassic Park, and shockingly, there's only one review. So I'll read that review in a moment, but the rest of them I found in 2 out of 10 stars, which is still a ridiculous score to give this perfect movie. Now, when I'm talking about Jurassic Park, I'm talking about the 1993 version of Jurassic Park. Everything else is just mediocre to awful. Personally, I kind of like Jurassic Park: The Lost World, but I know that it is a heavily flawed movie, so despite me liking it, I'm okay with it having 1 out of 10 stars or 2 out of 10 stars. But the original Jurassic Park? Are you kidding me? 1 out of 10 stars, 2 out of 10 stars? No fucking way. These people are brain damaged. So, if they're brain damaged enough to write these reviews, then they're okay with me reading them out in public. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do these reviews in silly voices, and I'm going to be upfront with you. My impressions are absolutely awful, but I'm not going to do hard work on these morons. So, without further ado, let's get on to the first review. Now, this is the only 1 out of 10 star review for Jurassic Park, and it is from 20057KMZ. Good thing they didn't put any of their name in there. So this person right off the bat mentions box office grosses, so I'm going to do it in a nerdy, pretentious voice. Spielberg at his worst. Box office grosses of this terrible movie make all the box office grosses of Titanic extremely deserving. That's right. And how in the hell did this abomination of a movie get a better rating than Titanic on this site? The reason for my strange praise for Titanic is because at least Titanic had a story at the foreground and special effects were used to support the story. Wait a minute. So this person thinks that there's no story to Jurassic Park. Oh, shit. The opposite is happening in this movie where the special effects take the front seat and in fact is the only purpose of this movie. Everything in this movie is horrible except for the special effects. If you want Spielberg at his best, then watch Saving Private Ryan or Minority Report. 1 out of 10. Ah, shit. You giving Jurassic Park a 1 out of 10? It just makes you look like a pretentious asshole. You are just a smug, love the smell of your own farts asshole. Let's move on. So now we are into the 2 out of 10 star reviews for the movie Jurassic Park. Again, this is a perfect movie. How could you give this 2 out of 10 stars? Like, were you fucking drunk? Were you stoned? Yeah, I think honestly, like, if you're drunk and stoned, you're still gonna love this movie. So you just have to be a fucking asshole. But let's go ahead and move on to our first 2 out of 10 star review for Jurassic Park. And it's labeled special effects and no plot. May as well play a video game. ... Poor acting, casting, writing, direction. Oh shit, you fucking bitch. I didn't even mention the name is Arconat, but I'm just moving on because this fucking bitch. The plot was very, very silly. Even when I was a kid, I would have thought this very childish. The dialogue was awful and Jeff Goldblum was especially dreadful. Jeff Goldblum was especially dreadful? Are you fucking crazy? Are you out of your mind? I like Sam Neill and Bob Peck. What were they doing in this? Dickie Attenborough? We've come to expect the silliness of him. What? Typical Spielberg, precocious, wise kids at the center of action as usual. Cheesy themes, predictable outcomes, but the special effects were great. ... You are so fucking pretentious. Moving on. Next 2 out of 10. Well, I thought this movie was great when I was 12. Now I just point out all its flaws. by Adam Shive. There are far too many errors in this movie. The T-Rex walks out of its pen, then the Jeep falls down a cliff at the same spot. The acting is the worst I've seen in any movie of the last 20 years. By definition, paleontologists mainly study geologists of past periods rather than biology. Thus, we can deduct that the main characters would be more surprised or make more mention of the dinosaurs' physiological and anatomical attributes such as skin and eye color, body temperature, sounds, and overall experience. You know, I wish that I read this beforehand because this doesn't sound like somebody from the South. This sounds like a pretentious movie cunt from San Francisco. But we've got to move forward, folks, so let's keep going. The lumbersome walking and bobbling of heads that Hollywood often adopts for dinosaurs is highly uncommon in modern and cold-blooded reptiles. Even the giant Gila monsters move swiftly with grace and dexterity. The dramatic human-like personalities of the dinosaurs is another purely Hollywood stunt. Yes, velociraptors may have the psychological ability to open the door, but without human reasoning, they wouldn't know why to open one. I mean, you gotta suspend a little disbelief, bro. It's a movie where they're bringing back dinosaurs to life. I mean, there's gotta be some type of tension. You just can't have them all be lumped. You know what? It's okay. You're an idiot. It's fine. The biggest underlying question throughout the movie is, why? Why do the dinosaurs want to kill? Because they're animals, they're predators, that's what they do, they're hungry, they've been caged up. Why aren't the characters more surprised and ask more questions? Didn't they ask? I felt like there was a scene where they were asking questions and... Why are the kids on the island? Yeah, that was covered, you asshole. Did you watch the movie? Why did the director let so many slip-ups pass through the final cut? Why did the boy survive a 10,000-volt electrical shock? Feel free to contact me at kingshive@yahoo.com. P.S. Why'd they have to use Newman as Nedry? Ha ha ha! I think he was the best actor in the movie. Oh my god, there's so much with this. I to be honest, I enjoyed this little review. I mean, this person is a complete jackass, but to be honest, there's some points that they bring up. I mean, the boy probably shouldn't have survived the 10,000-volt electrical shock, but again, they're gonna have the kid die. That's really gonna bring the movie down. And, I mean, you know, they did have to resuscitate him, if I'm not mistaken. It just, I don't get it. Like, what other movie have you watched with dinosaurs in it that has been more realistic and more gripping and more emotional and looks as beautiful as Jurassic Park? I just, like, what is Adam looking for? Like, what the fuck are you looking for, Adam? What are you looking for? Moving on, next one. All right, so let's do this in a, I don't know, Russian, my worst Russian accent ever. Longtime sci-fi fan speaks from Son of a Gun, a great movie for 10-year-olds and down to about 5. Seems obvious, to me at least, the actors and all adults realized they were in a silly kids flick. So really didn't try too hard. Story was really no great challenge to their acting abilities. I gave it a 2. Let me tell you something. You know what? Let me jump out of my accent because I know it's fucking horrific. A great movie for 10-year-olds. Yeah? I mean, a guy's fucking arm gets ripped off. People get killed in the movie. But yes, you let your 10-year-old watch that. I'm gonna tell you something, son of a gun. You're an awful father. Moving on. Next, 2 out of 10. This one's Ballin' BC, so I'm gonna do this urban-like. Only 2 good things about this movie from Ballin' BC. Probably BC stands for Black Like the title says, there are only two good things about this movie: the music and the dinosaurs. I found it very difficult to watch this movie due to the characters. Throughout the entire movie, I found myself rooting for the dinos to just kill off these morons. I thought that I might like this because I'm a fan of John Williams, the composer, Steven Spielberg, and other movies like Jaws, but this was a real miss for me. Would I recommend this movie to a friend? Yes, only because I think everybody should see classics like this, Jaws, Star Wars, etc. You know, I'm not gonna bash on this guy because he's kind of got good taste. I mean, I think it's crazy to give this movie a 2 out of 10. And to be fair, these are all opinions, and their opinions are like assholes. Mine are only right, but at the same time, he seems kind of cool, so we're just gonna move on. Next 2 out of 10 is from Yenlo. So Yenlo, that sounds like a fucking tween. Tween. Ah, shit. My face already hurts from doing these tween voices, but I know you guys probably love it, so here it goes.
Dang the hype! Big letdown! Plenty of hype was made about this film when it came out that it was almost as if P.T. Barnum himself was behind it. Needless to say, it was not the greatest film of all time. It sadly strayed far from the fine novel it was based on. Good actors were on hand, but were only there as furnishings for the Spielberg special effects. All attempts at suspense were on the level of a children's Saturday morning TV show. Years from now, it could very well find itself on Mystery Science Theater 3000, if mistake is revived, of course.
Which it is, but also they would never do that because this movie is amazing and you are a fucking cunt. People keep mentioning that the special effects were front and center, and the special effects in this movie were incredible, but I always felt that the actors were what made this movie. When I think about this movie, I immediately think of Sam Neill, I think of Jeff Goldblum, I think of Laura Dern, because their performances were great. Even Newman's performance, as small as it was, is just memorable. Everybody quotes this movie. They don't quote the dinosaurs. They don't talk about this movie and say like, hey, remember the dinosaurs and how incredible they look? That's only a part of it. A lot of times this movie has heavy quotes and heavy memes, and they come from the actors. So stop fucking saying that the special effects surpassed the actors and it was all about the special effects. It wasn't. The special effects were amazing, but the actors also made the movie. Without the actors, this would just be a movie with great special effects. And we've had plenty of those to see what happens when you have a hollow movie with great special effects and no storyline. So fuck off. Next 2 out of 10 is from R. Zajak. You know, after reading a few of these reviews, I'm going all out. I'm going into a Middle Eastern accent because I need to switch it up and I need something to make me smile. So, the movie from Razajak. I went to see this original Jurassic Park when it first came out. At the time, I was struck by how really dumb it was. Over time, I've come to recognize what it was I'd seen. It was a nasty case of producer's cold feet syndrome, possibly compounded by the director and other artistic voices not having the cojones to countenance those dumbing down voices and redeem the exercise a bit. The characters are... I'm starting to lose it. The characters are reduced to cartoon caricatures, which, ironically, I'm doing now. The flick plays like a first draft storyboard animatronic, driven by the producer's knee-jerk responses to dailies that... Shit, man, this guy's good. The denouement is funneled into an insulting joke or a resolution, and they think the whole exercise in narrative dim-wittedness can be redeemed by closing out of an off-the-shelf, one-size-fits-all, geez, aren't kids and family just the coolest they've seen? I give it 1 star over the minimum 1 because because you can see that some folks tried. They really did. But no cigar. A lot of money spent on a big nothing. Yes. I love it. I love it, brother. You go, Razaja. Woo! Moving on. Let's go to 2 out of 10 from Zia 90. A Tour in the Park by Zia 90. For me, Steven Spielberg is one of the greatest directors of all time. Just one movie is enough to call him a master, Saving Private Ryan. Jurassic Park was a very big disappointment to me because I had expected much more from Spielberg. Instead, it was a solid and at times very slow-paced and mediocre adventure film. The first half was like an interminable introduction. It was too slow-paced. I expected some action or fun and had none of them. Then I asked, where is fun in the first half? I had expected a perfectly directed, also perfectly written action, suspense, or a gripping story, but it was uninteresting till the second half. The only successful thing in the movie is visual effects. As you know, it was a revolutionary experience in cinema in that year. I appreciate, but as an adventure or action, I think that the movie is just okay. In the second half, I had expected that there would be a battle between the family and the dinosaurs. A do or die fight, but couldn't find anything spectacular. Dirt Tree is a movie which, when you are shocked by electric wire, nothing happens, but your hair bristles. Jurassic Park is like a tour in the park rather than being trapped feeling. When the family arrives Jurassic Park, we see dazzling dinosaurs. CGI is flawless and the famous car scene takes place, which was impressive, but no more than that. I know that my voice changed in the middle there, but this guy sounds like such a fucking bore that I was starting to fall asleep. Alright, let's move on. Next 2 out of 10 is from T-13196, so I guess maybe I'll read this in a robotic voice? Movie makes no sense by T-13196. Spelled sense wrong because I am a fucking moron. This movie makes no sense. Dinosaurs don't real, and people could bet the dinos up. It is bad, and I don't get it because I am a fucking moron. Does not compute. Wow. Definitely know you're not AI because you are way too fucking stupid for that. So folks, we are down to our final 2 out of 10 star review for Jurassic Park. And I am very happy and also very nervous because this review is a fucking book. Oh shit, here we go.
Was it the best from Mr. Skywalker? Jurassic Park was surely a tremendous, groundbreaking event. Spielberg is at least his best here. The special effects are fantastic, and each scene has a special tension and effect of its own. Spielberg weaves a magic web and pleases everyone in the process. He puts in a few things here and there to please the more liberal in the audience, as well as more traditional. He even sends messages to the critics with words such as sexism to try and appease the media critics.
Holy fuck. What the fuck were you watching? What? Oh shit. Why did I pick this voice? It's killing my throat.
Spielberg also has us rooting against everyone who dies and for everyone who lives. He even gets the audience to laugh hysterically while a person is torn apart. In fact, a number of people complained that there was not enough gore in Jurassic Park 3. If you are looking for gore, then you will get much more with this film than with JP3. There was a more gritty tone with this film time with JP3. We got to see cows and other animals eaten alive in detail. But beyond the appeasement of those who need to be convinced of realism through gore and other methods, it is with action that Spielberg excels. Fantastic use of sound and special effects make this film a thrilling event. Spielberg has shown he is the king of action even on a small budget of duel. I was reminded of the terror involved through the shaking of the ground and the loud sounds of a dinosaur walking. Jurassic Park was about terror and fear, while JP3 was about adventure.
Jesus Christ, what is your fucking hang up on JP3? What is it? Jesus!
JP3 was a thrill ride in which the audience wishes it was on the island, while Jurassic Park, we were more in the state of fear. JP3 was full of imagination and excitement, and we really cared about the characters. The smart kid in JP1 was more enjoyable than the crying kid. The smart kid in JP1 was more enjoyable than the crying kids in JP1. I'm assuming it means JP3 because he's a fucking idiot. They also say he could not have survived because teenagers at time would probably be the same ones who at one time said women were unable to do anything. Anyway, JP3 was just an adventure that really found redeeming value in every character, where JP1 just killed off all the creeps.
Whew, I'm fucking struggling here, guys. I'm struggling here.
I was also reminded that Jurassic Park was a statement movie. The statement being that people should not clone creatures or try to create monsters similar to the ideas of Frankenstein. JP3
Again with the fucking JP3! Shit!
JP3 was more like Dracula, that it had no real treatment. JP3 was really about whether or not the characters will escape with their sons, similar to whether or not one could survive a night at Dracula's castle.
Wow. There is so much fucking wrong with what I just said, but I'm really more worried about my voice, so let's continue.
So JP3 was more of a good old-fashioned scary adventure and about imagination. It really depends on what you like. JP3 also was at a disadvantage, being the second sequel, but was still very exciting. Personally, I give a slight edge to JP3 because I just enjoyed it more. It definitely could have been a little longer and would have been even better had Jeff Goldblum been in it.
Thank God that's over. Oh, man. First of all, wow. I mean, it feels like you worked on Jurassic Park 3 and you are just fucking in on promoting it. And if so, bravo, mwah. I mean, I love it, but wow, man, you really have a hard-on for Jurassic Park 3. Like, it's fucking insane. I'm just gonna assume that you worked on Jurassic Park 3. Is this the director? Is Mr. Skywalker the director of Jurassic Park 3? And he's like, I think my movie's better.
Thank you very much, Mr. Skywalker. My throat thanks you.
Well, that's it, folks. I want to say thank you to all my new subscribers. I want to say thank you to everyone who does like the video. Please comment below. I love reading these reviews. I love reading them blind, and I hope you love listening to them. So thank you so much. Once again, hit that like, hit that subscribe, use an ad blocker. I always encourage you to use an ad blocker in all my videos, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.